We lifted the garlic on July 28th this year, and we had had a fairly dry summer, followed by some good rain. The lower leaves were yellowed, but we still had 6 to 8 good green leaves. I pulled the soil back and checked the size of one, and it looked really good. So we proceeded to lift the garlic. If the soil is real heavy, you would definitely want to use a pitchfork or a shovel going in well outside and below the bulbs to lift them and loosen them instead of just pulling them, because the stalks could break. Then we loosen the soil roughly out of the roots and lay them to the side until we had lifted all of the garlic before proceeding to clean the roots and trim them. Any bulbs that have a broken skin so the cloves are exposed, we set aside to deal with later. Then we clean the soil out of the roots as well as we can. This year the soil was fairly dry, so we were able to shake and rub it out. But if it's real wet, we might rinse them in a bucket of water. Then we trim the roots to about a 1/2 inch and strip a leaf or two off to clean the outside of the bulb, and wipe it if needed with the back of your glove just to get as much dirt off as possible, and put them bulb up in a bucket. Then we clean up any weeds and cover the soil. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green leaves. You can see the skin is starting to break down. That's these 2 leaves. And I'm going to strip off one green leaf to clean the bulb. And that's it. Not too bad. Then we bundle them in groups of 10 with a zip tie and hang to dry. After the heads have cured about 3 weeks with a fan on for ventilation, we cut a stalk and make sure that the end of the stalk feels nice and dry. Then we store them in fishing creels in a cool closet. We have also used mesh produce bags. This is a double clove that grew from what looked like one, but evidently it was ready to split into 2. You can take them apart, and if they're not split open, they still make a fine head of garlic, but they're oddly shaped. This bunch over matured a little bit with that last big rain. I think they expanded a little faster than the skins could handle, so they split open and dirt is inside. So we will peel them and poach them in olive oil and put them in the freezer for pizza. Break the cloves apart, peel them, poach on very low in olive oil about 20 minutes, then freeze them covered in oil. In October, we will select heads about 2.5 inches in diameter and choose the largest cloves. Then we will amend the soil well with manure and peat moss. Then we lay a template of landscape fabric with X's cut on 6-inch centers for our spacing. We use a dibble to create holes about 3 times the depth of the clove or 3 to 4 inches in our case. Then place your cloves in pointed side up and cover with soil. Replace the template over and anchor it down. Either water it well or let it get rained on. Then, although it's not necessary, we have built a little roof that we cover with black visqueen over winter. We uncover the bed in late March, and this is about a month later. This is Mr. Garlic. As long as you give him good drainage and well-amended soil, he'll be happy.